A military tribune was an important officer in the Roman army, positioned below the legate and above the camp prefect, praefectus castrorum. Although it was a military title, it also carried strong political significance. For many young men of the equestrian or senatorial class, serving as a tribune was an early step in a public career, offering both prestige and experience before entering higher offices. It is important not to confuse this role with the political office of the tribune of the plebs, which had a completely different function in Roman society. The origins of the office go back to the earliest days of Rome. The term tribunus comes from tribus, meaning tribe, reflecting a time when Rome's army was organized along tribal lines. In this early period, each of the three original tribes provided a commander, forming the leadership of the first Roman legion. As the Roman army evolved, the number of tribunes increased. By the time of the historian Polybius, each legion had 6 tribunes, typically appointed by the consuls, although the exact method of selection varied over time. During the Roman Republic, 6 military tribunes were assigned to each legion, and command was shared among them in rotation. These officers were usually members of the elite class and were formally appointed by the Senate. Over time, political changes allowed greater participation. By the early 3rd century BC, plebeians gained the right to elect some of these tribunes, reflecting the broader struggle between social classes in Rome. In addition to their military role, there was also a special form of tribune known as the tribuni militum consulari potestate, or military tribunes with consular power. In certain years, instead of electing consuls, Rome chose several of these tribunes to govern the state. This arrangement allowed both patricians and plebeians to hold supreme authority, but it eventually disappeared after 366 BC, when the traditional consulship was firmly restored. After the social war and the reforms that followed, the Roman army became more professional and structured. In this new system, overall command of a legion was given to a legate, and the role of the tribunes shifted. There were still 6 tribunes per legion, but their responsibilities became more administrative and political rather than purely military. The most important among them was the tribunus laticlavius, or broad-striped tribune, a young man of senatorial rank marked by a wide stripe on his clothing. He acted as the second in command and was essentially in training for higher leadership, learning directly from the legate. In some cases, especially in provinces like Egypt, such tribunes could even command legions themselves. The other 5 tribunes, known as tribuni angusticlavii, or narrow-striped tribunes, were of equestrian rank. They had less authority and were often seen as officer trainees. While they could participate in military courts and assist in administration, they rarely held independent command in battle. Their role was more observational and educational, preparing them for future responsibilities. However, their effectiveness varied. Some, like the future governor Agricola, took their duties seriously and gained valuable experience, while others treated the position as little more than a social opportunity, neglecting their responsibilities. Overall, the military tribunate reflects the unique blend of military service and political ambition in Roman society. It was not just a rank within the army, but a key stage in the development of Rome's ruling class, shaping future leaders through direct exposure to command, discipline, and the realities of warfare.